Good morning. I trust you had a good weekend of worship and fellowship with God's people. My wife and I did, and are inspired and encouraged to begin this new week. So, we're off to week 4. We have some great additional reading in Myers, the Search to Belong, chapters 4 to 7, and that is the focus of our reading for this week. The assignment is a very important assignment. You're to select 10 rooms of your church building and elaborate on those. Now, if your church does not have 10 rooms, you use the rooms you have. Then you have some virtual rooms that are maybe 8, 9, and 10. You declare what that room is. Then you, in the second column, you list the kinds of belonging that may occur in that room. Let me give you an illustration. In the sanctuary, in our church sanctuary, I greet people and just have some general public interaction with people prior to the worship service beginning. We also have social connections, and we have some personal connections as I check on somebody's life situation or whatever. And at times there are intimate connections when someone comes for counsel or prayer. So all 4 kinds of belonging occur in that sanctuary. Do they happen for every person? No. But they perhaps occur periodically. Or, shall we say, a room that is used for youth ministry part of the time, but also for ladies' Bible study. Different kinds of belonging. So you have the room, the second column, the kinds of belonging, and the third column, you give a brief explanation as to why you have listed whatever kinds of belonging you have in that room. And then you conclude your document with a couple paragraphs about what you have learned and gained from that. Now, our discussion board is another good discussion for us to think through as we work on the material. I'm pulling it up. He describes those 4 kinds of belongings. Which do you think the Moody Distance Learning class provides? Now, I want you to be realistic about this. I have my own personal convictions about it. Isn't that surprising? But some students can elaborate on all sorts of things, but they don't take into consideration that many of us are living life and have family responsibilities, work responsibilities, ministry responsibilities, and how many more spaces do we have for various relationships? How much more time do we have? So think that one through before you answer too quickly. But I want to challenge you to think ahead for the coming weeks. Next week, there are 3 assignments. Now, that is not the best assignment structure, but that's the way this class is at this point in time. You have a mega church online experience that you will need to fulfill. You have a small church ministry experience. And then the third assignment is a biggie, and that is a demographic analysis of the area around your church, not the whole city of Chicago, not the whole county of the town where I live, rather the community where I live, or where the church is located. And you do that demographic analysis, and it's carefully explained in week 5. I will highlight it further next week. I advise you to minimally get started on one of those this week so that you're not inundated next week. Of course, you also need to be planning ahead for your interview with your pastor for week 6 and your interview with congregants, 4 to 7 congregants, all at one time, a diverse group that gives a big picture of the church, not just what you and your friends think of the church, and then the final paper for week 8. So we are beginning to wrap things up and get things organized so that we understand the cultural dynamics of our congregation. You have a delightful week. Always feel free to get in touch with me.